It is Tuesday afternoon. We have had quite the couple days here. Sunday, like I said, we just kind of were going to sit around, eat some junk food, and relax. About Sunday night, Nate started getting really warm. I thought Keegan felt a little bit warm when we went to the hockey game on Saturday night. And I thought for sure it was him that was getting sick. But Nate started to really spike a fever. It got up to 102.4. So, we were up most of the night Sunday night. Paul had to run over because we didn't have... I wanted to alternate the Tylenol and the ibuprofen. We didn't have any children's Tylenol. We just had infants, so he had to go over like at midnight and get that. And we alternated that every 3 hours. Your phone's broke? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So Nate's been home from school. Probably will be home tomorrow. He's got also laryngitis. He can't really talk. I see you too. That started Sunday morning. We actually thought it was just from the hockey game, from him yelling, because he was with his friends and they were yelling and all that. But he's still got really bad laryngitis, and his temperature's not as high now, and it goes much longer in between coming back. So he's definitely getting better, but he's still not good. So I don't know if he'll be able to go back to school by Thursday or not. So that's been it. We've been exhausted. Paul actually called in yesterday. Whew, because he didn't get any sleep either. So that is that. I just worked a little bit. I'm off work now. I'm trying to pick up the office. I want to show you guys how much progress I made on the wreath. The wreath is done. Almost. Let me show you. So here it is. This is the bow, which I don't have attached yet. I tried to hot glue it. It did not work. So the bow is going to go on here like this. But that is going to be it. I think it's going to look really good. It's basically gonna look like that. So I really like how it turned out, and I'm pretty sure the wreath form I got at the dollar store. So pretty much I paid $1 for it, and then the little bow here that I made, that came from my ribbon stash that I already had, which I'm sure I probably got in clearance or something. I debated whether or not to put like a colored ribbon. I had a green one, but I decided not to do it. But I just have to glue on the ribbon, and then that will be done and ready to be used. I really like how it turned out, so I've been because I still have a ton more jeans. I mean, literally have an entire garbage bag full of jeans, because Nate and Paul go through jeans like crazy. And again, these are all jeans that have like holes in the knees, or like Paul rips out his pockets sometimes, or whatever. They're all jeans that have something wrong with them that they could not be worn anymore. I've also thought about dyeing some of the other jeans, like the lighter jeans, like a red and black, because I want to do wreaths in here, just little wreaths on my, it will hang over the valances. And I want to kind of utilize as much of that kind of stuff without, spending money as possible. To go, I had bought deco mesh from the dollar store. And I really want to make like a winter wreath that is not like Christmas themed. So I just kind of want to do it like snowballs, snowman type things, snowflakes type like that. So the silver and the white, and I might try to get some blue, I don't know. But I think I'm going to make a wreath, because I have another wreath form here. I think I'm going to try to do do a wreath of that some sort, maybe like go to the dollar store or like Michael's or whatever, and see what kind of embellishments I can get. I don't think I really have much of that kind of stuff here. I can always cut some things out on the silhouette, but I kind of want something more sturdier than just like cardstock. So, yeah, I think I'll probably work on that a little bit next. School started yesterday, which I really didn't want to go back, but it's my last semester. I gotta finish this up. I actually have to add one more class, I think, in order to graduate, because I have one more class to do. So, and I thought about just waiting and taking it in the summer, just like paying cash for it, but I might as well just get it done. So big projects around the house. We still have the office on our to-do list. I still have not gotten the rug down. It's over there. We just have not had time. Like, I mean, Nate's been sick, obviously, and we wanted to take Sunday off anyway. This weekend is crazy busy. Nate has basketball, which I'm not even sure he's going to be able to get to, because on Sunday at the mall, there's a huge expo for the Boy Scouts, or the Cub Scouts, where they're doing another derby race amongst their entire group. So instead of just Nate's troop, it'll be everyone in their district, which he wants to go to that. I have to double check when his specific race is and when his basketball game is. I'm pretty sure they overlap, so he's got to do one or the other, and I think he's decided not to go to basketball. And then Sunday, or no, that's Saturday. And then Sunday is Scout Sunday, which is where they go to church. They're going to the church that they are affiliated with. I think they do some readings and things. Like it's the normal church services, but they incorporate the Cub Scouts into them. So I don't know exactly what that means, because it's their first year, but it should be interesting. So that's that. I'm going to get off here and upload this and start working on last week's video. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Hey everybody, it's Friday. I am so super sick. Nate was kind enough to share his illness with me. I knew yesterday I was starting to cough and feel real congested in my chest. I knew that it was happening. So we had such a rough night last night, and I haven't been able to sleep real good since Nate got sick. So I knew it was coming. Last night, Paul got home. He went over and saw our neighbor. I decided not to go. I just decided, the last time I saw him, he was happy and his normal smiley self, and so I just didn't want to remember him, because I knew that he was he was slipping in and out of consciousness and stuff, and he was mostly unconscious when Paul was there. He would turn his head a little bit, but he was not in a good place. So I didn't want to go over there. So Paul went over and talked to him and talked with his family and stuff, and said his goodbyes for us. Which I don't know if I've mentioned, but I'm a huge proponent of, because when my mom was they had her knocked out when she was going downhill, and whenever we were in there, somebody was with her all the time, but whenever we'd talk to her, whatever, her heart rate would go up. So I definitely am a huge believer that they can hear you, and even toward the end. So Paul went over, and he was such a good neighbor. He was just such a jokester, and Paul just talked to him, about some things, and I'm just glad that he did that and said his goodbyes for us. We got a call a couple hours later that he had passed away, right at his home, which was nice. That's where his wife did also, and I think they've lived there for, I think, over 60 years. He was 97. So, I'm sure that's where he would have wanted to be, or I'm sure that's where he did want to be. And, so, his families, they were all over there last night. His kids are not all here, so, the ones in the area were over there. And shortly thereafter that happened, our power flickered. Paul was upstairs with the kids, and our power flickered, and it was dim afterwards. This happened a few years ago, where we only had partial power. We had much more power back then, though. Last night we had very little power. What it turns out had happened is a transformer blew, or was on fire or something. So it caused us not to have full power, which really wouldn't have been a huge deal, except for the fact that our furnace wouldn't run they didn't have enough power to run the furnace. And it was negative 24 degrees with the wind chill. And so my first concern was kids, because it was cold. I mean, immediately when it wouldn't kick back on, it like temperature just started dropping. I mean, it was that cold outside. So we went upstairs and we brought Nate out of his room and put him in, because Nate's room gets, like, out of his closet, there's a heat run in there. His room stays pretty warm from that. He also has a secondary electric unit on the wall. Paul tried to... What's wrong, Bubby? Paul tried to turn off the other circuits in the house to see if it would work, but it wouldn't. Nothing.
I'm gonna come out.
In just a few minutes. Go on. I'm just doing this video and then I'll come out. He tried to turn off the other circuits to see if that would do anything, give it enough power to start. He turned everything else in the house off, and it wouldn't. So we went upstairs and brought Nate into the sitting room. He slept on the love seat for a little bit. And Keegan has that electric fireplace in his room. That turned on, and it was putting out minimal amounts of heat, but at least it was something. We took the dog up there because there's no heat on the first floor. We're in the basement, so we worried about a pipes also. But we also we shut Nate's door, and there's no door on the sitting room where Keegan is right now. So we took some thumbtacks and a really heavy sheet and put up there to see if that would help. I had gotten on the power company's website fairly early after it happened, and there was nothing, and then they had updated it. And they said that it should be on by like 12:30. So that was maybe like 3 hours, maybe a little bit more than that. So we were kind of talking about what we were going to do, because like I said, it was dropping fast because it was cold outside. So we talked about either going to a hotel or even just going in the truck until it turned on. If it had been any longer than 12:30, we would have had to have gone to a hotel. I mean, it was too cold for the boys. But luckily at 11:30, we had gone back in our bedroom and turned on our heater, because it didn't seem to matter if another circuit was pulling thing. It didn't, which I don't know exactly how that all works, but we turned the heat on in our room, which was doing the same thing Keegan's was. It was just on very low, putting out a little bit of heat, it wasn't like too cold for us or anything, because I sleep with our bedroom pretty cold. We generally don't put heat in there. We just use, whatever rises up or whatever, because I do like it cold when we sleep. But I had it on more to just be able to kind of pay attention to when it clicked on full speed. So luckily at 11:30 that happened, and we were able to get the furnace started and get get everything like back to normal. I don't know, Paul must be tired today. But then Keegan was up and he wouldn't go back to sleep, and so I didn't end up going back in my bedroom until probably like 2. I don't even know. I woke up with Keegan next to me when Paul left. Keegan must have woke up, and Paul put him in I don't even know. Like, I don't feel good. So I texted the girl I work with, and I told her, I said, it's not going to happen today. Yesterday, I tried to get, for budget's sake, I try to get 30 hours between the 2 weeks, which may not sound like a lot, but by the time I can't even log in until 9 o'clock, and I would like to get Nate off the bus and be done with work. So really I only have 6.5 hours a day anyway. And that's just with the workflow. That's what that's what I budget on. So I hit over 30 hours yesterday because we've been working so much. So I said, today is not going to be that big of a difference if I don't, I'm going to have my hours. My hands are so dry. Everything is so dry because it's so cold. So, this morning we just came down and I got the boys dressed. Well, I got Keegan dressed. Nate's still in his jammies. Because this is a full week. It was last Sunday he started getting sick, and he's still not better. I mean, whatever this is just nasty stuff. He's still got a horrible cough, and he's got congestion. I don't know. He's not running a fever anymore, so I don't know. We might go to the walk-in this weekend. We have such a busy weekend. Of course we do. Tomorrow, we have the thing at the mall for his derby. Sunday, Scout Sunday. They're supposed to go to church. And then Sunday's the Super Bowl. I don't know. It's just so crazy. It just figures. But anyhow, I was sitting on the couch, and I was all this weighing on me. I was looking on Facebook, and I saw that one of my friends had posted a trip. The Humane Society here is sponsoring a trip to New York City for the weekend, and it's a really, really good price. The hotel, so they take you down by bus on a chartered bus, and the hotel's in Midtown Manhattan. It's a Hyatt, and there's free food all day long on Saturday, I think, or maybe Sunday too. I don't know, but like it was just such a good price. It was like a little over $400 for the 4 of us. And so, we haven't been anywhere. Last place we were was, would have been like, Polar Express in November. So this is in April, and I said, hell yeah, we're doing it. So I booked it. It'll be good. The kids have never been on a chartered bus before, so that's going to be fun. We have all been to New York City before, but last time, Paul and I used to go a lot. We used to go on the bus trips a lot to New York City. It was a lot of fun. But the kids have never. The only thing they've been is to the Statue of Liberty, which you go to Ellis Island, and it's kind of like a separate part. It's not like the city. So this is right outside Times Square. This will be fun for them. They've never seen any of this. Like, we'll be able to take them to like the M&M store, and I always go to the Disney store on Fifth Avenue anytime we're in New York City. I love to go to Crate and Barrel and the Container Store, and I don't know how much that will do, but I really would like to focus this more kids, like do things in Times Square, maybe like Empire State Building or something. I don't really know exactly what we're gonna do. We have never been to see the 9/11 memorial. I would like to go do that. I don't know though, because we're doing more of a kids thing. I don't know if we'll do that or not. And I don't know how other people feel about stuff like that, but I just don't. The kids will have plenty of time to learn the world is not perfect, so I don't need to do that in their childhood as far as I'm concerned. So that's our day. So at least something fun has come out of it. I called Paul, and both Paul and Nate, the all-you-can-eat thing, that's what sold them. They're like, yep, so we're going to do that. It should be fun, just for the weekend. We've talked about going down to New York City and staying for the weekend, because every bus trip we've ever done before takes you down. You get dropped off like 10:30, 11, depending on traffic, and they pick up like 7, 8 o'clock at night, which, I mean, is a nice time, but you never experience the city at night. And so we've talked about doing something like this for a while. We talked about, like, you can drive down and you can park, like, outside of the train station. Just take the train in, because I really don't want to drive in the city and have to, because if you have to pay to park, it's ridiculous. You might as well take the train. So, that's what we did when we went to the Statue of Liberty. We took the train from Connecticut. We stayed in Old Greenwich, Connecticut, and we took the train in. But we've talked about doing that, but it's just, by the time you add all that up, it's a really pricey thing. So that's, for this to be, it was $460 for a room, basically. You're paying for the room. Everything else is included. They must have gotten a really good deal on the room. I don't know, because it's a Hyatt right in Midtown. I mean, like I said, that room alone has to be, I would think, $300. I don't know, but anyhow, so it was $460 for one person, or like for the 4 of us, it was $460. So it just broke apart. And I initially thought maybe just go with Paul, but the boys would enjoy that. So I booked that. So that's, the rest of I haven't really mentioned, but one of my goals for 2019 is to, especially in the summer, because we are on our debt-free journey, to find a lot of free activities, which I already have. I have them on my phone, a lot of free weekend activities and things like that we can do with them that are not going to be, I mean, you're going to need gas to get there and maybe, money for lunch or something, but they're not centered around spending money. So this, I don't think, like I said, I don't think we're going to do a lot of things that are on a grand scale like this, so I think that it's fine. The other thing that we talked about, which is also in April, so I don't know if we'll go, is doing monster trucks. I don't know, because that's just a couple weeks beforehand. And when we did that a couple years ago, we got the tickets, which the tickets weren't bad. I think they were like $20 a piece, which isn't awful. And then we got a hotel room for 2 nights, because you can go to like the pit party the Friday, and then the thing is on Saturday. I don't know if I'll end up doing that. We might wait till next year. Because it's always Keegan that I have to think of. Because Keegan is not Nate. And Nate, we could do things with. He would sit there. We were just talking about that at the hockey game. Keegan would have never sat through the hockey game. He would have been running around and never, ever, ever sat. Where Nate went to a hockey game when he was just a little bit older than Keegan. Sat through the whole thing perfectly fine. So we always have to worry about Keegan. And Keegan's ability to... I mean, he's still a little young, but still. He's not Nate. He's a different kid. So I think being on the bus, and it's early. We leave at like 6:30. I think he'll be okay. I think that he'll be okay. I think the bus will be enough of an experience for them because they usually have like a movie. I've never rode with this particular company before, but the other ones that we rode with, they always did like a snack midway down and like had like a, you know, a TV screen that they played a movie, some kind of a movie on. So yeah, that'll be our big spring getaway. I'm going to call my nephew and see if he can't watch the dog. If not, I used like rover.com before to find somebody. So yeah. So just a little Friday update before our big weekend. I just hope I feel better. I think maybe, I don't know. Problem is it's so cold. Like that's why I haven't taken Nate to the doctors. I don't want to drag him out. I mean, it's cold. It is cold, cold, cold. Let's see what my phone says. Yeah, it's 6 degrees right now, and it's the warmest part of the day. It's 1:16. Let me see, it's updating. Oh, it's 8 degrees. I lied. It's 8 whole degrees, and that's not the real feel. I don't know. I just don't know. Yeah, it's supposed to be at 3 degrees. Oh, it's so cold. I don't mind snow. I love snow. I don't mind the winter. I love winter. I love all the seasons here. It's the bitter, bitter cold when these Arctic winds come in or whatever. I don't like. So, yeah, a little bit of preview for our springtime. And then this weekend I'll be sure to show you how our weekend goes. I'm hoping I can go to everything. I don't know. If I get much worse, though, I might send Paul. I don't know. I hope I feel good enough. So, have a nice Friday, y'all.
Hello. Today
Oh, you don't need to hold it down. Look.
we are going to be
What?
showing you his toy register.
This is a toy that Keegan got for Christmas. Look at it now. February 1st, we're just putting batteries in it.
No.
You don't even have to press it, you just talk.
Hello.
Now try.
Hello.
Oh, maybe you do. Okay, go.
Clean up on aisle 4.
Look at all that money. You're rich.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Clean up on aisle 4.
We're up here
And
just playing.
punch the guy in the face.
Stop. To get the kiddos away from the darn TV.
In the face.
I'm gonna punch you in the nose.
I'll punch you in the face.
Keegan, he's putting the fake coins in his coin box. Or his coin box. In his piggy bank. Keegan. Keeg. They're not real. They're just play money.
Play money?
It's not real. You don't need to put it in your piggy bank. You silly boy, you. Oh. I kicked on accident.